gamers, this is my passive skill tree for the freeze monk that you just watched. I'm not going to explain every node here, but the general thing is you're trying to solve defense, mana, and damage. So since we're an int strength build, we're going to take as much energy shield recovery and evasion rating as we possibly can. Get some attack speed for dex and int, which we're both going to use. I was having problems early game living, so early in the game I went here and I took this tree and went around here to immaterial. Um, I didn't take this tree until about level 60, and I just couldn't have any mana whatsoever. So I went here with intelligence and reduced mana cost of skills, and get another 8% right here. It's a 20% increased recovery rate, which has done me wonders. This right here is probably inoptimal, but I was trying to get as much shock chance as I possibly could. But I'll probably just take this off right here and have 2 more points to put somewhere else. Right here, we want as much magnitude and freeze build up as we possibly can. A slow boss is a boss that's easy to dodge and it's already frozen. Freeze and slow, so we want as much of that as possible. It does wonders when the boss literally cannot fight back, and you're over here cranking thousands of damage at a time. Early in the game, I went over here and I took this right here, since we're killing enemies all the time, and I took all these 10% damage nodes around here, and get more freeze buildup and more cold damage. This is a very valuable node, since I can get 8% into another 18% and the freeze buildup, and I just take dex and int as I need them for my build. So at this time, apparently I needed dex, int, to equip certain items. And we took this over here to get as much penetration as possible. It is so important to be able to penetrate armor in this game, guys. You will get hard counter and stuck on things that resist frost if you cannot get past their resistances. We come right up here, and we get more freeze buildup. Once again, a slow boss is a dead boss. And we took this right here. This might be bad, it might not. It seems to increase my damage, I'll be honest. And this tree right here did me wonders, because you can get freeze buildup and duration, more time to damage them when they can't fight back, plus 1 level to all cold skills, more damage, more penetration and exposure effect, more magnitude of the chill and chill duration. This up here did me wonders. Now I'm on a journey all the way over here, just taking it as I need it at the moment. And with over here taking this tree right here, with more build up, more damage against frozen enemies, which we've already took one of. And we're gonna be grabbing this, and we'll be grabbing most of these. Cast speed increases, good quality of life and whatnot. And for our ascension right here, we have taken, of course, I am Blizzard into Unbound Avatar. Now, for the other 2 ascension points, I'm not exactly sure which path is going to be optimal for me. It could be this. I would love to put some more spirit-based things on. And this is an okay node, but seems kind of lackluster since we can get basically the same node over here. Could be this. Probably will not be this, but this could be cool to use. We'll see when we get there. But we're only level 62 at the moment, and clearing those trials at the moment is impossible because I can't get a thing that gives me the ability to do the trials. So now we're going to go over the skill gems. So first, pretty important skill once you get your ascension is Unbound Avatar. I find this skill to increase my damage by a lot more than 40%, because even though it says it's only 40% on here, no, you get to refreeze and keep reapplying your dot more or your freeze more instantly after the boss or mobs have already been frozen. You can use this spell for elites, regular trash packs, bosses especially. You just get so much value out of Unbound Avatar. And we're going to increase the duration here. Herald Advice is a general spirit skill that will let us just increase our damage while clearing packs, and I just have a meme on here for funsies. There's no real reason for it. Once this goes off, normally everything's dead anyway. Glacial Cascade is one of the most important abilities that we have. Not only is it a long-range payoff we can use to kill mobs from far away, it's also a ranged attack we can use when we don't want to be next to a boss or can't get in and fight the boss. It is reasonable damage. You can kill a boss by only pressing Glacial Cascade. If you are in the range of that sweet spot, it does a lot of damage, and the payoff for it is extremely good. We're using Elemental Evocation with Comet. We're using Comet to absolutely decimate mob packs. It does a lot of damage to bosses, and all we do is just sit here and just let it charge up. We don't have a cast time. We just press it, and many comets fall out of the sky. We're doing our best to cast as many meteors as possible with energy retention, and supported skills gaining plus 40% more energy so we can have as many meteor comets as possible. This spell is fantastic for doing just about anything you want. You can use this against bosses once you press Unbound Avatar. You can use this while fighting rares, mob packs, whatever you want. Like, this does so much damage. Frost Bomb's another great skill, applying cold exposure. Cold exposure does a lot of stuff for us. It increases the damage taken by them, which removes the mobs so that we don't fucking die, which seems to be very important in this game. You can use this to initiate combat, you can use it on bosses, just use it on cooldown all the time, and you will not regret using Frost Bomb. Cold Snap does exactly what Glacial Execute or Glacial, what's it called? Glacial Cascade does, but close range. Use it when we can't back up and get the execute proc from the, well, I guess it's not an execute, the big damage payoff from Glacial Cascade. Cold Snap usually kills mobs extremely quickly, and we want to use as much damage as this as possible. But like, once we use this skill, I want things to be dead, and you can just keep on cold snapping things because everything's gonna always be frozen. If you can't back up to use Glacial Cascade, just cold snap them and move on about your day. Ice Strike here is our bread and butter. We want to be using this skill all the time to apply the cold, to apply the freeze, to do damage. It costs the least amount of mana. It's the skill you can keep using over and over. Everything about this skill is great. We're using the Final Strike happens twice because the Final Strike applies more freeze. We're using attacks gain 35% more damage as cold after freezing enemies because we're going to always be using this, and this is our mana friendly ability, so we can use it as much as possible. And we want to use it, yeah, as much as possible, like I said, so we get more attack speed. Hand of Cholula is one of the most underrated spells I've used. It applies both hyperthermia for us and freezing mark without actually having to cast them. See, Hand of Cholula casts extremely quickly and teleports us to the mobs. And it casts Hyperthermia, which can't miss, and Freezing Mark, which it wasn't going to miss anyway. But I don't want to have to cast both of these on things that I need to kill. Being able to cast this, dodge attacks by teleporting in, closing the gap on big targets, bosses, whatever you need, is great. Frozen Locust has really fallen off for me at this point in the game. It doesn't do enough of anything anymore. I use it very fringely at this point to block passageways that are really dangerous and stuff like that, but it's pretty falling off, and we're gonna increase the freeze duration because if I'm using this, I need things off of me instantly. Alright, and I'm not gonna go over all my pieces of gear either. Ooh, how's if well, there's my stat page real quick, since I've already clicked on it, and we just want to look at it. So we're gonna look at our inventory, and we're gonna look at our gear here, and I've crafted all of this gear to the best of my ability. I found that drops really don't drop a lot at all, and if you're not crafting your own gear, you're not going to have any gear at all by the time you're in this stage. So, once I got this, for the first thing I got it was plus 4 levels to all melee skills, which was a great boon to my damage, but a big negative to my mana. I got this weapon, and then I had to take the mana talents on my passive tree. And here we just have general items you would expect to see on a build like this, with as much resistance as possible, as much life as possible. And there we have it, guys. And this is my current Frostpunk build. It's been a great time playing this game, and I enjoyed it so much I wanted to show everyone else what was going on with Frostpunk. Thanks.